Hello, today we will solve a question from the TOEFL reading section, focusing on the read a social media post question type. We will practice understanding everyday notices, identifying rules, instructions, or key conditions, and selecting the most accurate answer based on practical, real-life written information. In this lesson, we are going to look at how a simple neighborhood announcement can contain crucial details that the TOEFL loves to test. Let's dive into this social media post and sharpen our scanning skills together. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to subscribe to myTOEFL for more expert strategies. Let's keep working together to reach your target score. Sarah Jenkins. This post is written by Sarah Jenkins, an individual member of the community. Quoting her name, Sarah Jenkins reminds us to expect a personal and helpful tone as she is sharing news with her fellow residents. Hello neighbors, the monthly Riverside Market is returning to the bustling city center this Saturday. This opening sentence informs us that the Riverside Market is a recurring event. By using the phrase returning to, the author establishes that this is a familiar tradition for the local neighborhood. Our local community center will host over 50 local vendors and artists at Greenwood Park from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Appear useful and things simple for updatation, as author specifies the exact location as Greenwood Park. Mentioning over 50 local vendors highlights the scale of the event, showing it's a significant community gathering. To ensure a smooth experience for everyone, we have updated our entry procedure for this specific weekend. This sentence signals a transition by mentioning updated our entry procedure. The use of smooth experience suggests the author is providing these instructions to help avoid confusion on the day of the event. Please visit our official event page to reserve your free digital ticket before Friday evening. The core instruction here is to reserve your free digital ticket via the official page. The deadline before Friday evening is a critical detail for students to note when looking for specific requirements. Upon arrival, you must present your digital ticket to the staff at the main gate to verify your admission and collect a map of the stalls. This detail explains the logistics of upon arrival at the market. The requirement to present your digital ticket to the staff confirms that entry is regulated and requires prior action from the visitor. We encourage everyone to arrive early to find the best handmade crafts before they sell out. Author uses the phrase arrive early to give practical advice to the readers. This suggests that handmade crafts are in high demand and might sell out quickly if one waits too long. Also, remember to bring your own reusable bags and some cash, as some sellers might not accept credit cards. This sentence provides a helpful tip to bring your own reusable bags. Additionally, the mention that some sellers might not accept credit cards serves as a reminder to carry some cash for purchases. We look forward to seeing the neighborhood come together for this special celebration. The post ends on a warm note, looking forward to the neighborhood come together. This special celebration reinforces the community-focused context we identified at the beginning of the text. What is the main purpose of the post? This question asks for the main purpose of the entire post. We need to find the option that summarizes the author's overall goal in writing this announcement. Now, keeping this in mind, let's look at our options. Let's take a closer look at option A. To explain how to apply for a job as a vendor. This option mentions a job as a vendor, but the text is aimed at visitors, not applicants. While the post mentions local vendors, it does not explain how to work for them, so we can eliminate this. Now, let's examine option B. To teach people how to make handmade crafts. Although the text mentions handmade crafts, it never offers to teach the reader how to make them. The focus is on buying and attending the market, making this a distractor. Here's option C. Let's break it down. To provide details about an upcoming neighborhood event. This choice correctly identifies that the post is meant to provide details about the market. It covers the upcoming neighborhood event by listing the time, location, and entry rules. Let's evaluate option D together. To complain about the lack of parking in the city. There is no mention of a lack of parking or any complaint in the text. This option introduces outside information not found in the passage, so it is incorrect. The correct answer to this question is option C, since the text serves as an informative notice for a local community event. Where is the event taking place? We are looking for where the event takes place, which means we need a specific location. Keep an eye out for proper nouns that indicate a park or building. Now, keeping this in mind, let's look at our options. Let's take a closer look at option A. At a gallery located in the city center. The text mentions the city center as the general area, but the specific event is not held at a gallery. Therefore, this option is too specific and ultimately inaccurate. Now, let's examine option B. On the streets of a private neighborhood. While it is a community event, it is not held on the streets of a private neighborhood. The text clearly names a public space instead. Here's option C. Let's break it down. Inside the local community center building. The community center is the host, but the event itself is not inside the building. We must distinguish between the organizing body and the physical venue. Let's evaluate option D together. In a designated outdoor recreational area. This is the correct answer because Greenwood Park is a designated outdoor recreational area. The text explicitly states the market will be held at Greenwood Park. Here, the correct option is option D, which shows that the market is located in a public park setting. What is the first step a visitor should take to attend? We need to identify the first step required for attendance. Pay close attention to the sequence of instructions provided in the second paragraph. Now, keeping this in mind, let's look at our options. Let's take a closer look at option A. Arrive at the gate before the staff starts. The text suggests readers arrive early, but this is a recommendation for shopping, not the first step for admission. The actual entry requirement must happen before arrival. Now, let's examine option B. Register for an entry pass on the internet. Invert, point. This matches the instruction to reserve your free digital ticket online. This entry pass must be secured before Friday evening, making it the initial requirement. Here's option C. Let's break it down. Bring a printed list of all the vendors. While visitors get a map of the stalls, they do not need to bring a printed list themselves. This is a detail that contradicts the actual procedure described. Let's evaluate option D together. Pay for a physical ticket at the entrance. The text states the ticket is free, so visitors do not need to pay at the entrance. This is a common distractor that changes a key condition of the text. Therefore, the correct answer is option B because the author explicitly tells neighbors to reserve their tickets online before the event. To succeed on social media post questions, always differentiate between general context and specific procedural rules. Pay close attention to the order of operations and the exact location mentioned. Practice identifying the author's intent early on to help navigate the distractors in the options.